So, though the first transfer portal window is officially in the books, that does not mean the transfer portal news is set to stop. If anything, it's going to be a wild ride between now and the next transfer portal window. And today, we need to talk about two individuals who entered the transfer portal in the last few days, both of which come from some of the most talented rosters in all of college football, both of which coming out the SEC. Today, we need to break down Demouy Kennedy, the linebacker from Alabama, and A.D. Mitchell, the wide receiver from Georgia, entering the transfer portal, and talk about what this means. Before we can, though, as always, y'all know the drill. I have got to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Were you surprised to see both of these individuals test the transfer portal? Let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification as I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to like and comment down below. Those interactions may seem small, but they truly are massive, and we're on a push to 20,000 subscribers. I'd love nothing more than to have you a part of this unbelievable community. But having said all that, let's jump right into this. And as I said in the intro, I don't expect the transfer portal news to go anywhere, because just because you may not have entered during this window does not mean we won't still see moves. For the individuals that have already entered their name into the transfer portal but have not found a home, they're still free to make moves. You just have had to have entered your name into the portal by the deadline. Something now, if you haven't, you're going to have to wait until the next deadline, which is going to be wild, something I'm looking forward to. But let's take a step back and look at the present, because we need to talk about two very talented individuals coming from two of the most talented rosters in the nation who hit the portal in the last few days. And we'll start with the Alabama Crimson Tide, where an inside linebacker, Demouy Kennedy, is testing the transfer portal. And Demouy Kennedy is a very talented individual. While at Alabama, he spent time in the inside linebacker rooms. He spent time at the outside linebacker room. And even when Alabama was in a bit of a pickle with their running back depth due to injury, he stepped up and started practicing with the running backs. He is an extremely athletic individual, and because of that, I don't think it's going to be long until he finds a home. I would bet most big institutions in the nation are going to reach out, and deservedly so. He has got a lot of athletic ability. In high school, he played offense, he played defense, a really talented guy, and in the class of 2020, he was just outside a 5-star range, coming in as the number 39 player overall per 24/7 Sports, regardless of position, the number 3 inside linebacker, and the number 1 player in the state of Alabama. So this is absolutely a name we have got to watch moving forward. But now we have to ask the question, what does this mean for the Alabama Crimson Tide's inside linebacker room, as they're going to have some turnover there? And this is a room I'm very excited to see this coming up season. Deontay Lawson is a name that I think Alabama fans everywhere are really excited to see. Every time he's hit the field, he has boomed. He has shown that he is an exciting player, one that the fans need to look forward to. But who plays next to him is going to be very exciting to see. There are a few names we need to know. Sean Murphy, Jaleel Campbell, and Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson coming in from the JUCO ranks, being the number 2 JUCO player in the nation, the number 1 JUCO linebacker in the nation. There are some very talented guys there. During the bowl game, we got to see Deontay Lawson and Jahad Campbell, and Jahad Campbell is an extremely talented individual, 5-star coming out of high school, and he has got intriguing ability. He has got a ton of versatility. I'm really interested to see where they go, but really interested in hearing from y'all. Hop down to the comments and let me know who you think will be that inside linebacker duo for the Crimson Tide. But now, we need to transition from Alabama to Georgia, where the Georgia Bulldogs in back-to-back years are losing a productive wide receiver, something I find a little bit surprising, but at the same time, not surprising. And let me explain. Because A.D. Mitchell hitting the transfer portal is something that's gained a lot of traction on social media, and deservedly so. Whenever you have someone on your team that produced, and that was set to produce even more next season, as your team just won a national championship, it's intriguing when they hit the transfer portal, but I think we need to take a look at this Georgia offense and understand how they operate, and that will give us a more clear indication of maybe why Mitchell hit the transfer portal. So there are several different reasons. We'll start with this offense in and of itself, because I have been saying all year long that Todd Bunkin was putting together a really balanced offense. A lot of guys touch the football in that offense. They spread the ball around, and it's tough to hone in on exactly how to stop that offense because they're so efficient in so many different ways. Specifically, their tight end use. They have got such a deep tight end room, and they have been hitting every college football team over the head with the talent they have in that room. And if somehow you figure out how to limit their tight ends, they're beating you in different ways, which is exactly what I've been talking about, the balance Monken is bringing to this offense that's very intriguing to see. But because of that, it's kind of hard to singularly boom in that offense if you're a wide receiver. Brock Bowers is going to get his share of touches, deservedly so. He's one of the biggest mismatches in all of college football. Yes, Darnell Washington is going to the draft, which in theory opens up some opportunity, but let's also remember that Georgia picked up the number 2 tight end just a few classes later in Oscar Delp and looked to be in a really good position for the number 1 tight end in the nation, 5-star Deuce Robinson in this cycle, something we've got to watch as they have crystal balls inserted in their favor. We've got to keep up with that because God forbid that's all Georgia needs is another talented tight end that they can roll out 12 personnel and just dare anybody to stop them. But this is the point, right? You have so many different options as to who could get the ball, not to mention Ladd McConkey coming back, who really boomed this past season. And I think that could be an explanation as to why Mitchell looks to leave, because he understands this is an offense that's going to utilize the tight ends. This is an offense that's going to spread it to multiple people, and McConkey had a big year this past season, and he's coming back. So he's going to be a target. I can understand where A.D. Mitchell is coming from when he would want to make a move and be able to get more film of himself for the draft. That does make some sense to me. So this is what I'm saying. I'm both surprised and not surprised. A little bit surprised because Georgia's won back-to-back national championships, and on the heels of that, both times a wide receiver that was set to have even more production the next year has left the program. But at the same time, when we really hone in, when we really take a look at what Georgia's offense does, it does make a little bit of sense. And we've kind of already answered the question, what does this mean for the Georgia Bulldogs? With McConkey coming back, that definitely softens the blow, but also inherently the way Todd Monken runs this offense, the tight ends you utilize, you would have loved to have kept Mitchell. He is a very talented player, and I have no doubt that every institution that needs a wide receiver will be reaching out. I don't think he's going to be in the transfer portal long, and I think he's a guy that we could see boom next season, and I don't know how many people would be surprised. But in that same breath, I'm not super surprised when we see this from Georgia. Once again, hate to beat a dead horse, but because of the way they run that offense, they spread the ball around to so many different people. They utilize the tight ends at such a degree, and when McConkey came back, if you were Mitchell, now you're just looking at how many guys you're going to have to fight for that football. And there's a lot of different ways they utilize that offense, they run that offense. So, not super surprised at both of these moves, but very interested in hearing from you. Where do you think Mitchell ends up? There's been some smoke to Texas, and that would be something to behold, but really interested in hearing from all of you. Hop down into the comments. Let me know what you're thinking about the end of the first transfer portal window. Let me know what you think about Demouy Kennedy. Let me know what you think about A.D. Mitchell or any other players you're interested in hearing about. Drop them down in the comments. You know we'll make a video on it. If y'all want to hear about something, drop down in the comments. I'll absolutely take any recommendations y'all have. I want to be able to produce content that you all want to see. So let me know what you'd like to see. Can't wait for this off season. It's always so much fun. That's it. See ya.